You're tuned into Midday Vibes with DJ Miss Eclectic right here on WIGO. I'm excited. It is a new music Monday. I've got an artist. He's an influencer. He's a rapper. He is Mr. Digital, I'm going to say, Mr. Creative, Marcel Patillo. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Doing really well. That's quite an intro. Quite an intro. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
I mean, you do it all, but digital is so imperative now, even when it comes to music, like even when it comes to radio, visuals are the thing now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely helpful, but in a sense, they always have been. One thing I tell artists, not to jump into this deep right off the bat, was, Britney Spears, Mandy Moore, Christina Aguilera, and Pink were all four Caucasian blonde girls that sang technically pop music all at the same time. But to us, they all felt extremely different as artists because of the video visuals and the videos. So the video and visuals marketing, it's always been a huge part of building a world around an artist. And I think a lot of indie artists have a hard time or maybe not even know that it's so important to build a world for your audience to come into, because at the end of the day, you're an entertainer. So just like when you go see the Blue Man Group, they bring you into their world, or just like when you go see Bruno Mars in Vegas, he brings you into his funk kind of vintage world.
That's so true. Yes.
And all four of those girls back in the early 2000s, they all felt so different, and we all could even put words and verbiage to why they felt different, and it was purely based on the visuals that we kept seeing.
That's so true. You're right. You're right. Visuals have always played an imperative part. You have a great point. I mean, you're, like I said, you're our Mr. Video man, but you grew up in a musical family. Like, you come from a family of legends, really. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, how was that growing up in such a family that was so pertinent, that was so musically inclined?
Man, I guess that's probably why I know stuff like what I just told you.
Right, there you go. That's the conversations you all had on the dinner table, right?
Yeah, man. My mom would be walking around on the phone talking about album releases or mixing or scheduling video shoots. And, she was an A&R for most of my childhood, and now produces or is the president of the Gospel Music Association. The GMA produces.
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Jackie Patillo, and they produce the Dove Awards, and they have the new museum in Nashville for Christian music, Christian and gospel music. It's awesome. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think it gave me a superpower early on, just to live around people that were living in purpose. I know a lot of people have family that works hard and also believes in God, but it's really cool to have been raised up in a family that works hard with God in their purpose and their profession. So that was awesome, but it also made it tough for me to kind of lean into the corporate world, and it almost kind of stuck me in this creator lane because I've seen too much.
That's true too. That's the other side of it, right?
I always say it's a gift and a curse, because it's a true blessing, and it's so much fun, and creation is kind of one of my best friends, and so I always have one of my best friends with me as long as I can create something. But at the same time, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's a difficult life, and it's kind of going against the grain. The world is not really set up for those looking forward or looking further. So it can feel a bit lonely, but it's a lot of fun at the same time.
That's lovely. I love that you've created your own lane, though. I mean, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. I think a lot of people, and I guess growing up in a creative household like that is kind of hard. You got to find your niche, but I love that y'all were centered in God, but you found your niche and you're accelerating in your niche. And I mean, you've even gone through tragedies with the loss of your brother and what you dealt with, but you're still managing. How was that transition for you? I know that's a struggle.
Man, it was tough. It was tough, to be honest. I've struggled with alcoholism for a lot of my life. And at a point when I thought I was over it is when Gabe passed. It was actually during a season of sobriety where I was feeling super strong. And I'd actually spent some days on the road with him and Toby a few months prior to that. Or maybe about 6-7 months prior to that. And when he passed, it really, really shook me. It's tough. I think when you lose people that close, a sibling that you're close to, or a partner, you have so many dreams that are attached to them as well. I'm not just hopeful for my future. I'm hopeful for his future, and seeing him as I walk down the aisle one day, or seeing him watch his daughter or his sons walk down the aisle one day. And so there was a bit of a motivation burst and a faith kind of hit when he passed, because you don't really know who to blame. You can't really point the finger at anybody for somebody getting sick and passing. But he was such a obedient servant to God that it at first it felt really, really tough to accept that God would let this happen.
Yeah.
And it definitely sent me down a rabbit hole, a deep spiral back into alcoholism, and that I had to pull myself out of and kind of resurrect my own faith and reconstruct my own faith and figure out what it means to follow God, even when the hope that you kind of wake up looking forward to, a lot of that might be gone. There's still a lot of hope in God, but it's tough. I spent 30 plus years waking up to those hopes of talking to him and watching him perform and seeing what kind of things he was going to create next.
Absolutely. You cherish the memories. Yeah. And like you said, you bring him with you through everything. And I absolutely love that. And I love that you have a testimony now. I mean, you have a testimony with your new single, and with all you're doing, you have that testimony that you can bring to more people, and that you're helping more people, because you were literally functioning through the whole thing. You're still going to church. You're still working full time at church. So you never let it stop you. You just can't. Not too many people can do that and continue to move forward. It didn't have you at a standstill.
Yeah, that's true. After Gabe passed, that was the first time that I started kind of shutting things down. I had a part-time job at a church, and I had a YouTube channel called The Modern Filmmaker, and I had clients I was taking on the side, and I was the host of the Church Production Magazine YouTube channel, and I have courses on Skillshare. There's all these things that I loved that I was doing, but after he passed, one by one, I just started calling partners, clients, and saying, hey, I need to take a break. And then I went to the church and said, hey, I can't be here right now. Some mornings, the feelings I'm bringing in here, I probably don't need to, and I probably need to address before I take on a role like this. And in that season of quietness is where I started making music again.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Sometimes we got to take that break. You got to take that time, listen to God, just be still and know that he is God. There are some times, and that's mental, your mental capacity as well. You need that time. So it's good that you actually took that break. And out of that break, we have a new single that is out, right? So
yes.
Let's talk about this new single. Is this the first single that you've produced?
For myself, yeah. I've been making music, my whole life, since producing since I was about 19. But yeah, this is the first solo project. I'm kind of stepping out and trying to make something new.
So let's talk about it. EDM rap. For somebody that says, how do you do EDM and rap? Like, tell somebody that, like, how do we fuse those two together? This is the creative side here.
Yeah, it's getting, music's becoming such a blend these days, and we've kind of seen how hip hop has influenced pop and country, and of course EDM with people like Skrillex. He'll use a lot of rap samples or bring in a lot of rappers for short sections, and it's always just been a really cool thing to hear from me. I've always loved that, the energy and just that unflinching truth of hip hop. It's usually, it can be arrogant, but one thing it is confident in what it's speaking on. And when you mix that with almost the cinematic, kind of through the roof energy of EDM, to me that feels like God. To me that feels like we're waging war and we're walking in victory.
I love it. So it is New Music Monday. Tell us about the single, how we can get it, the energy because I know we're gonna feel some energy in it, because I already heard it and I was like, oh, okay, build up. I like it. It's different. Get my workouts on in the morning to this one.
That's right. Yeah, that's definitely where it belongs. It belongs when you want the energy. There was a few times when I was mixing it that I would, get out of the studio and get to bed, and I'd be laying in bed. I'd be like, let me check that mix one more time. And then I'd listen to it at like 11:30 at night, which is a terrible idea because my heart would be pumping by the end of the song. So it's an energetic song. It's a statement of truth. I think about the spiritual war a lot, and that's kind of a common theme that'll carry out throughout the I Am Able ministry is, just sometimes some of us feel like life is more of a war than a ride. And especially at certain seasons when you go through things, you're like, God, where are you? And that's intentional on the devil's side, but it's also intentional on God's side to help him show you to rely on him. Yeah. And so this song is just a boast on the fact that there is a war, but he has won it from the beginning. From the beginning, he has been victorious, and we carry that victory forward in our belief and our faith. And so we can walk in confidence knowing that this war the winner's already been chosen.
I love it. That is the best intro we can have to our New Music Monday. From the beginning, Marcel Patillo, from lead singer of Lovers Ball on Goatee Records and Toby Mac's record label, to his own artist himself, Marcel Patillo, from the beginning. Listen, I am looking forward to the world hearing this song, to this your whole I Am Able movement. I am absolutely loving it. Marcel, how do we continue to support you on all social media platforms, and let us know what you have coming up next?
Yeah. Check me out on I Am Able Music on all social media platforms, and just I Am Able on all streaming platforms. Definitely check out the video on YouTube. That'll be I Am Able Music as well. From the beginning, I'm just so excited to have it out, and I hope people enjoy it. My biggest thing is just being able to connect with those that feel that war. I want to be able to stand with those that feel like life can be a war sometimes. And, those people that wake up thinking like, why do I feel so heavy today? Like, what's going on? Just to stand with them and say, hey, the devil does fight for you in your sleep, but God does too.
I love it. Yes.
And there's more music to come, more great visuals and audio to come, to hopefully get that picture across to comfort people in the truth. And
the visuals are crazy. I absolutely love the visuals on the video. So make sure you watch From the Beginning on YouTube. Make sure you download it on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow Marcel Patillo on I Am Able on all social media platforms. It's Midday Vibes. It's DJ Miss Eclectic. It's New Music Monday right here on the legendary WIGO.
Yo, this is Marcel Patillo of I Am Able, and you are tuned in to DJ Miss Eclectic.